Welcome Galactic family. Greetings dear ones. We are bringing this message to answer some of the questions that you may still keep quietly and secretly inside you. Because it is a new and energetically powerful time with so many events, many are questioning how your observations align with the idea you have about those times. The world at large has been comfortably involved in three-dimensional thinking over the ages, and therefore the awareness and integration of new and higher frequencies of light are causing some confused perception, because many of the changes that occur seem unnecessary to some. On the other hand, the idea that things are perfectly acceptable in the way they are. Some things will not totally change, but gently and gradually they will adapt to a higher expression. For example, doctors and hospitals will not disappear, but will become more open and receptive to conscious and higher ways of caring for and healing those who come to them. Individual reactions may vary from "I have a lot of life experience, and this is the right way to get things done," to "a lot of change is never good." Dear, very little will remain the same for those who have chosen to move to live from energies of higher dimensions. The manifestations of duality and separation must eventually dissolve, as there is nothing else to sustain them. This is not to say that the world as a whole will suddenly cease to have experiences of duality and separation, but you personally will find that your life will increasingly reflect peace and harmony embodied within a consciousness of oneness. For years, and through the life experiences you have prepared for these times, you have been confronted and released stored cell memories physically, emotionally, mentally and spiritually painful, and the fears you have dragged for many lives. As you replace these heavy old energies with light and truth, you become a channel for truer ways of believing, living, and being. Even those spiritually ready, but not fully aware of this fact, are feeling the intensity of the holy light pouring out on earth, and that is available for all to receive. You have arrived, the time is now. Be patient and avoid believing that nothing ever changes, or things are just getting worse, or it's all a mistake. Because things can elusively look like this. The integration of new and higher frequencies into the physical must be a process, since the human body would not be able to withstand the higher intensities if they were integrated at once. Continuously expecting this or that particular experience as necessary proof of evolution is an unproductive exercise based on old energy beliefs. Judging against the experiences of some holy person, ideas in some book you may have read, or rigid religious concepts of what constitutes spirituality simply reflect the belief in separation. The journey of the soul of each person is unique, and their experiences will never be mirrored, because everyone has lived different experiences in hundreds of lives. Each individual has their own chosen lessons to learn and truths to integrate into the earth in their physical form. All are one with the source, all, without exceptions. Every individual must eventually arrive at the full realization of the truth about himself, because it is an immutable reality. Nothing exists outside the divine consciousness, and the feeling that something is different from the one is illusion. The world and all its natural realms are not illusion. False concepts about the world and their natural realms constitute illusion. All that you can become aware of is a concept formed by a mind of a spiritual reality. For example, you are a consciousness, not a physical body. Your real and permanent bodies are made of light. What you see and experience as a physical body is a concept of the permanent spiritual body, reflecting your state of consciousness attained. We wish to talk about the spiritual journey. The idea of a journey is illusion, dear, because you have never been and can never be separated from the reality of who and what you are. The idea of an evolutionary journey began when souls through a series of ancient events forgot that they were the individualized divine consciousness that chose to experience a sense of separation. As their creation seemed so real, a sense of separation became their state of consciousness, and they continued to create experiences of separation that manifested themselves as opposing pairs, duality. The consciousness of unity began to make more and more visible these false creations that gave rise to fear and negativity in all its forms, which is the three-dimensional world of today. Now you are ready to remember who you really are. Healers are remembering ancient healing techniques, artists are remembering to gain creative talents, and all willing souls are beginning to once again experience unconditional love and the sense of unity. Many are beginning to question man's inhumanity to man and the natural world, even if they are not fully aware of why his thinking has changed. Awakening happens through the higher self when an individual is ready for the next phase of their journey. The eyes are opening and beginning to see beyond appearances. Humanity is discovering that, in fact, the emperor has no clothes. This is evolution. Become an observer. Stand back, resting in the wisdom that you and all are spiritual beings, and observe. Avoid the belief that you should heal, change or fix someone or anything, translating so that you actually see what is behind all appearances, that the world and everything in it are already perfect and whole. Recognize external appearances of good and evil as manifestations of concepts and beliefs. Their realization of truth helps to dissolve the energy of these misguided creations, for there is nothing to hold them apart from belief in them. This is healing. We do not say to ignore the suffering of others. Have your hand out and ready to extend to those who seek answers seriously, instead of simply wanting you to do your jobs for them. Never act to change someone else's learning path in the belief that it is your duty to save it. This type of thinking is based on the human ego, a belief still promoted by many religious groups who teach that it is loving to intervene and remove someone from a difficult situation that he himself may have specifically chosen for spiritual growth and learning. You are led to walk on a thin line in these situations. It's different if a child, someone helpless, is at risk. Always seek the truth, trust and let your intuition guide your actions. Because now you know that you are a creator, you must ask yourself honestly, what am I choosing to create? Do you intend to continue to create duality and separation images simply because the world says it is reality, or because these things are habitual and comfortable? The truth is, or it is not. God is, or is not. This is the free will of each individual as to what they accept, but understand that life can be very uncomfortable for those who choose to live with one foot in both worlds, as many have or are about to discover. The time has come to rest in the truth, be the truth, and live the truth, releasing every remaining concept or belief based on the ideas of separation from the source. It is time to claim your identity as God in your expression. It is time to jump off the cliff, so to speak, to trust that you have always been, is, and will always be expressing divine consciousness regardless of appearances. We are the ARCTURIAN group.